right, and we're back I'm back with Suede.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
Give it up for Suede, people. Give it up for Suede. Come on. I had to pay each individual person to actually get that applause.
Oh, God.
No,
I hope it was expensive.
Yes, it was very expensive, actually. It was horribly expensive. No, it's nice to have you here.
Yeah, it's real fun.
Yeah, we were supposed to have Lucky Duck as well, but he's lying home sick. So we're going to give him a silent half a second. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, sorry, man. It would be so nice to have you here.
Yeah,
and
we
also,
really miss you.
Yeah, and also Ominous was supposed to, he was supposed to go to the Muse concert somewhere. That was supposed to be around now. I don't know. So he's not here because he was supposed to go to the Muse concert, but it got cancelled.
Prioritizing music over StarCraft. That's a bit awkward.
I don't know about that.
No, I don't like it.
No. It's not the KTH way of doing things. That's what I want for sure. I can tell you. Well, we have an amazing crowd here. It's so much fun to have you all here. Yeah, give yourselves a big round of applause.
It's actually stocked in here.
Yes, it's actually stocked in here. You can also buy yourselves beer in the bar, and we'll all be happy. They'll make everyone happy here tonight. No, but let's talk a little bit something about the matchups.
Yeah.
Let's throw ourselves into the first one. We got FuBaR versus ProxyPanda. And what do we know about these two people?
It's a Zerg versus Terran.
Yes.
And I talked a bit with our Terran player earlier, and he seems really, really interested. No, it's a Zerg versus Protoss. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, and I spoke a bit with our Protoss player a bit earlier, and
Yep.
he seems really, really interested in trying some new stuff.
Yep.
And he's playing HOTS a bit, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And
it's kind of hard to bring those strategies into here, though.
Well, I mean, different timings, different stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
No,
I'm a Zerg player. I don't study things.
I don't study things. I watch what he's building, and then I build 120 units.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. But what do we expect from this? I mean, ProxyPanda talks about wants to bring new stuff. What does that mean? More proxies?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
I mean, I would love to see a proxy 2 gate because it isn't ordinary.
No.
But it's really interesting, and it's a micro battle to watch.
Yes, it's true. And also, this is a best of 5. And we were talking a little earlier here about trying to bring the mind games and mostly into the first game. You want to start off by throwing your opponent off.
Yeah.
He probably might have a prepared build order of some sort, which goes completely out the window.
Yeah. I mean, having a winning match record versus Mana is... I mean, it's impressive.
It's impressive.
And
but,
if he could throw off Mana, I think he'll have no problem with doing that with our master player here today. But we'll see.
And he threw him off with some impressive mathematics there in the beginning. I like that. That's the kind of smack talk we want to have more. Everyone's been so polite here.
Yeah, I mean,
KTH people, Jesus.
It is the University Star League here. It's not the North American one.
No. Oh, we've been dissing so many people today. We should stop that, just being mean to everyone, and be nice instead. So, how are we looking for the game? We're throwing ourselves actually into game number 1, as it seems right now.
Yeah. And it's on Cloud Kingdom.
Yep.
Excellent map for excellent Zerg versus Protoss. And I think we'll just see some lovely games right here. I mean, a best of 5, that means at least 3 games.
I play for the Royal Institute of Technology.
These are both high-level master players.
And I study electrical engineering.
I'm doing my PhD in mathematics. And ProxyPanda said that he really needs to practice because he felt that he was... we have a pause to start off with. I'm not sure if that's... he has something... He sees some sort of reflection. Oh, he can see reflection of... our casting on the screen through the window. That was very mannered of him, actually, to tell us that. That's how do we solve that?
Yeah, we're getting a hot fix right now, and it'll just take a couple of seconds.
Yeah, of course. And as I was talking about, ProxyPanda stated that he needed to get into practice. He said that he felt like he was in lower masters, probably middle masters, somewhere around there. Whereas FuBaR, when I checked him, he was, I think, top 4, top 6 masters.
Interesting.
So he's doing quite well on the ladder, actually.
Yeah, I mean, doing quite well for himself is actually really good.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
I mean, laddering is, you play someone randomly, but it's excellent practice.
It's excellent practice, and the point is lying up there, you could state that it's, I've heard many people talking about it's the league you're put in, depending on who you have in there and so forth. But then again, having a high Masters League placement, there's a lot of mechanics there. that need to be in place for you to actually get up there. And that was noticeable last time when Theovite played.
Yeah.
He was in High Masters, and his mechanics were really nice. I mean, even in the last game against Xylla, where Xylla proxy roboed him and almost took him out, he managed to hold that, only microing his SCVs, and at the same time deciding that, I'll research 1+1+1 and research combat shields and everything else that's necessary so that I can just repush and win. And, it was quite impressive play. So I'm thinking that we should see some really solid mechanics from FuBaR today. I mean, ProxyPanda has been playing a lot as well, so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and let's introduce our players.
Yes.
And here in the top right corner, we have our Zerg player. Give it up for FuBaR!
There we go. Should I take the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the Protoss. I play Protoss. You play Zerg, right?
Yeah.
So fair enough. I'll take the Protoss player. Down in the lower left corner, the man who proxied Mana. Give it up for ProxyPanda!
We are seeing a natural pylon, so it'll probably just be a Forge Fast expand. And
exactly.
We haven't seen anything really interesting from our Zerg player yet, so I'm guessing a 14 pool. And right now at 200 minerals.
Exactly.
No.
No.
He might be... Oh, there it is. A 15 pool to open up with. And here we have a pause.
Oh, and the second pause again. ProxyPanda's got something going on. I think he stated that he wants to bring all of his bad smack talk into the early game in the chat.
Maybe it's a BM pause.
Maybe it's a BM pause.
Trying to figure out some good smack talk.
Oh, he can hear the casters?
Oh.
Well, we have very pretty voices, so, that's always something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving hearing you beatbox. Could you do something?
Should I do the beatbox?
Should you do the beatbox?
Should I do the beatbox? I probably should do the beatbox. I'm going to bring some pause dubstep here.
Yeah.
So here's the pause dubstep. We're taking a break. Short break. How's that?
Give it up for my co-caster.
What are you going to say? What are you going to say? I shower a lot. That's awkward.
Yeah.
Slight bit awkward, but then again, that's what you got to do.
FuBaR being manner in the chat, he's now just typed in, let's just play with you hearing and me seeing. That's excellently mannered of him.
I think that as well. It's a good. I mean, we were talking about challenges to give people handicaps, and I mean, why not give these two players handicaps?
Yeah, and now we actually unpaused the game, and we are ready to go again. And as we come back into it all, we have a 15 pool for FuBaR, and I mean, it certainly looks like a Nexus first from ProxyPanda.
Yeah, it does look like that, but the question is he going to get that down? That worker is going to run around there all day, just annoyingly stopping that one.
I mean, this isn't as important because Zerg regeneration is just going to get that drone out of there and it's going to regain health. But, I mean, getting that Nexus down, not with such a huge delay, was really important for ProxyPanda.
Yeah. How's the distance on this map? Since I don't play much Zerg, actually I haven't been playing too much on the ladder lately at all. How's that Forge first or Gate or Nexus first? What's the difference, really? Can you get any Zerglings out to do any type of harassment?
If you go for a 14 pool, and if you build Zerglings early, and if you get pylon blocked, as well as the Protoss goes Nexus first, you can get in with some links and harass the mineral line. And that's really good if you get mineral blocked or pylon blocked, as well as you build a couple of links. That's the best situation you can have.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So it sounds a little tricky. Sounds like you really won't get into that position.
Yeah, and here we see FuBaR hunting down that probe, and it's going to die, just as he scouts the 2 expansions of FuBaR.
Yep. There we go. So both players throwing themselves into a real macro game.
Yeah. And here we have a Cybercore getting down for ProxyPanda, and another Queen coming up for FuBaR. And everything looks quite standard.
Yep. The standardist game. So no real, actually, first game cheese here. What's the mind games in a best of 5? I mean, you want to throw your opponent off at some point, but I'm guessing that these two players not knowing, I'm not sure about how much of what ProxyPanda said about building statistics over FuBaR's games. I'm not sure how much of that was true.
I mean, I wish that it's all true.
I wish
that it would have just been so awesome to watch.
I'm seeing how ProxyPanda's room is, you know, a room with walls filled of pictures, awkwardly taken pictures in the dark of FuBaR and his family members. That's how I see how ProxyPanda prepares his strategies and builds.
But how would family members come into the StarCraft games?
I mean, you know, if you listen to Swedish hockey casters, there's always, you know, this. If they win, it's like, yeah, we're a good team, and if they lose, it's like, well, you know, had a problem, you know, missed his brother's birthday here the other month, and you know that brought him down and so forth.
And here we see FuBaR going for the standard 6-minute gases, and here we see ProxyPanda opting to go for a robotics facility. Sorry.
Yeah. We got just the taking the gases there as well. ProxyPanda. You think just Immortal Sentry?
It could be, because he started that +1 quite early, and if he continues producing sentries, I mean, you'll see as soon as he pops down those extra gateways. If he locks down with 3 of them, it could be just a 4-gate robo expand into a 3rd. And if he pops down a couple of more, it's an all-in.
It's an all-in.
Right now, FuBaR scouting the main of ProxyPanda, seeing a couple of gateways. Right now, it's an expansion build, but I don't know. He has some minerals stocked up.
He has some minerals stocked up, and of course he wouldn't want to show that to the scouting overlord. So we're going to see if he builds those in the back. And yes, he is building 2 more gateways. So I have 5 gates going down. So this is going to be I'm guessing an all-in of sorts. So Immortals together with Sentries and what? Zealots?
Yes. I mean, it's excellent. It's an excellent all-in. It's easy to do, if I may say so myself, but it's so effective. Those force fields, cutting up those roaches, and just those Immortals, eliminating them out of game as soon as possible.
Exactly. There's a lot of talk on that. There's been a lot of talk about all kinds of balance problems and issues and so forth, and of course the biggest one is the Infestor discussion. But then again, there's been talk about the Sentry Immortal push as well, about it being very tough to hold, and there's been a lot of players doing it. How do you counter that? It's the Infestors. You want to lock down those sentries.
I actually don't really see the Immortal all-in as a balance issue until you get to the very, very top. For instance, I played Roxkiss Titan in the open bracket at DreamHack, and I mean, I was demolished. And it was no joke. And here we see ProxyPanda pushing out. And back to the discussion. If you were to kill off an Immortal all-in, this would be the time, coming out with speedlings to intercept this little bit of force, because the zealot numbers and stalker numbers hasn't really started to clump up into a big mass of armies.
Exactly, and you want to bait out all those force fields while you can, and this is a quite nice route, baiting out so many force fields. So there's a lot of energy wasted there, and a few of those sentries got stuck on the outside.
Yeah, and we actually have Hydras being produced at FuBaR space. So this could actually be a new kind of fun response to this all-in.
Yeah, this is very interesting, actually. I don't think I've seen Hydras as a response to this. And you know, I mean, he's got the Hydra range coming as well.
But there are so many force fields. He has 11 sentries and 3 Immortals. And, I mean, he's going to warp in as soon as possible. And that's just going to annihilate his force even more.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of liking the Hydra position on this. I mean, they're light units, so they're not going to take massive damage from those Immortals.
That's true.
And they do a lot of damage, so they can take out the sentries very quickly.
Oh, but there's so much force fields, and those are excellently placed. I don't know if this was actually such a good idea. It's a real big investment to go for Hydras this early, but they can take out that Warp Prism and cutting off the...
Oh, and they managed to take up the Warp Prism together with an Immortal inside of it. So no reinforcements coming up. Those units are going to be taken out, but there's of course reinforcements coming, and there can be quite a lot of kiting on the creep as well. Yeah, but I'm guessing he's going to take out that 3rd base.
Yeah, ProxyPanda is taking out this 3rd and just equalizing the economy standpoint of this, and I think he's going to be able to push inwards and take this game.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could. That's a definite possibility.
Both sentries are just accumulating more force fields, and I mean, without that economy advantage, FuBaR isn't buying time for himself.
No, and he has a bit of a strange unit combination. He's got Roaches, he's got Hydras and Zerglings. And it feels like it was a little bit inefficient in his choosing of the unit composition.
And here we see a rally of Zealots going into the natural of FuBaR. FuBaR pulling every single worker in his natural mineral line. And I think this is going to be the end of game number 1.
This seems a little bit tricky. Yeah, all the sentries have been taken off, but it doesn't matter because there's so many units for ProxyPanda, and FuBaR is losing so many workers here.
Oh, and here we have another rally of Stalkers, and this just looked horrible. I mean, FuBaR can buy some time, but this second push...
27 workers killed. Sorry, I'm interrupting you there. It just got me a little hot, you know.
No, go ahead. I mean, there's the upgrades in ProxyPanda's favor. We got Vitek in his favor, and he could just be able to take an expansion behind this.
Yeah, there's so many Zealots coming in here as well. So those workers coming in as a meat shield are really not going to help much.
Yeah.
Here's the kiting.
And I mean, FuBaR's economy is dead, and this is the last force for him. And after this, he is going to type out GG.
I'm thinking so as well. Those Zealots got caught into a choke, but it didn't happen. There's the GG from FuBaR.
And we have ProxyPanda taking game number 1 and being at an advantage, actually, without cheese.
No, with no cheese, nothing whatsoever there. And of course, I mean, you can throw your opponent off with something cheesy in game number 1, but if you play 2 straight-up games, just straight-up 2 build orders, and one wins in quite a convincing manner as he managed to do now, then you're of course going to throw your opponent off a little more as well.
Yeah, and I mean, FuBaR did have an interesting response to the Immortal All-In, but I don't think that it's adapted to beat a higher league player.
No, I don't think so either.
But I mean, it's interesting. It's really fun to see Hydras in a ZvP. I mean, it was a really long time, and we still played on Metalopolis at that time when Roach Hydra was a standard in that matchup, but
I'm missing Hydras actually.
I don't know. I just don't see how it could be relevant at this time.
No, it seems a little awkward that as well. He mixed in Roaches and he mixed in Zerglings. He was a little undecisive on how to actually build that army. I wasn't sure if he was really had a prepared response for that even. So it looked like he wanted to try something and see how if he could manage to beat that push. And of course, I'm guessing he played something similar like that on the ladder. But as you said, it's probably not met a player of this caliber. Trying to meet that build with that.
I mean, Hydras are an excellent response to air. Yes. And the Queens are as well. So as a Zerg player, I mean, you kind of want to opt to go for the Queens because of the transfuse possibility. You can drop creep tumors, and you can mass them pretty easy since they only cost minerals.
Exactly.
So I mean, Hydras are quite counterintuitive to go for right now. But one player we can see that actually pulls it off is Stefano.
Yeah, Stefano, but he's for some reason Stefano in his engagements, depending on even doesn't matter if the armies are evenly matched, he manages to get such sick angles and such concaves, and he still micros his army so well that, you know, even with Hydras, they do a lot of damage. They have a very high damage output. So if you manage to use those very well and get them into an effective position with some sort of wall in front of them, then yes, they're going to be doing a lot